Most people think self-sufficient living on half an acre means you need to raise goats, pigs, and a milk cow to make it work. But the truth is, those animals will drain your time, money, and land faster than they'll ever produce meaningful food security. The problem? People choose animals based on what looks homesteady on Instagram, not what actually fits limited space. And that leads to burnout, vet bills you can't afford, and neighbors who hate you. In this video, I'm breaking down the 5 best animals for half-acre homesteads, ranked by space efficiency, return on investment, and how much they'll actually improve your life instead of consuming it. These aren't the romantic choices. They're the ones that work when land is tight and time is limited. If you want to build real food security without pretending you have a ranch, this channel is for you. I post practical self-sufficiency strategies like this every week, and subscribing means you won't have to waste months learning the hard way. I'm really glad you found your way here. Let's start. Before we rank them, the half-acre rules. Quick reality check. Half an acre is a lot, and it isn't. You can grow a serious amount of food on half an acre, but only if your systems are clean and your animals don't dominate your life. So every pick on this list follows 3 rules. Rule number 1. Daily care has to be simple. If it requires 2-hour chores twice a day, you'll quit when school gets busy, work gets hectic, or winter hits. Rule number 2. The animal must stack functions, meaning eggs plus meat, meat plus compost, honey plus pollination, pests plus fertilizer. One animal, multiple wins. Rule number 3. It has to fit your social reality. Noise, smell, zoning, predators, neighbors, your schedule. Those matter more than the animal fantasy. Okay, with that said, animal number 1, chickens, dual-purpose breeds. Chickens, dual-purpose breeds specifically. This one matters because most people either go full egg production or full meat birds, and both approaches leave food on the table. Dual-purpose chickens give you eggs while they're laying and meat when they're done, which is how you actually maximize a small space. The reason dual-purpose chickens work on half an acre is simple. They're compact, they convert waste into protein, and they solve 2 problems with one animal. A small flock produces breakfast daily and fills your freezer annually without needing separate coops or management systems. Here's the starter setup that actually works. A 6x8 coop, a 200 square foot run, 6 hens, no rooster. If you have one corner of your property with decent drainage, you're ready. What you're doing day to day is boring, in a good way. Feed once, daily, refresh water, collect eggs, quick look over for health or predators. And then the grown-up part of small space chickens is this. You process older hens at 18 to 24 months when laying drops. No incubators needed if you buy started pullets. No complicated breeding programs. You're running a system, not a hobby. To keep it going, focus on one thing. Predator-proof the setup once and maintain it. Hardware cloth, not chicken wire. Secure latches, not this is probably fine. Motion lights if predators are heavy. And cover the run if hawks are a problem. That single decision prevents most chicken heartbreak. Over time, this doesn't just give you eggs and occasional chicken dinners. It changes your morning routine into something grounding. You stop checking grocery prices on eggs because you don't need them. And there's a quiet confidence that comes from knowing you can produce protein in your backyard while your neighbors panic over food inflation. The breed choice that makes or breaks this a small thing that makes this easier is choosing breeds that actually work for dual purpose, not just breeds marketed that way. Here's what most people get wrong. They buy Leghorns for eggs or Cornish cross for meat, then realize they need two separate systems. Or they choose heritage breeds because they're pretty, but those birds take forever to mature and don't lay consistently. For dual purpose on small spaces, stick with three: Rhode Island Reds, Barred, Plymouth Rocks, Australorps. These birds lay roughly 250 to 280 eggs annually, dress out at 5 to 7 pounds, and handle confinement without going neurotic. They're not the most beautiful, they're the most functional. Free ranging, the half-acre trap. Another common mistake is free ranging on tight properties. It sounds ideal until chickens destroy your garden beds. You attract every predator in a 2-mile radius. Your neighbors complain about birds in their yard. A well-designed run with deep bedding and rotation keeps birds healthy and your relationships intact. Feed costs and how to not get wrecked by them. Feed costs matter on small budgets. Chickens aren't free to feed, but they're opportunistic. Kitchen scraps, garden waste, and soldier fly larvae can offset 30 to 40% of commercial feed. The key is supplementing, not replacing. Balanced nutrition keeps production up and prevents weird health problems. The numbers, what this actually returns. Egg production is predictable. 6 hens produce around 4 to 5 eggs daily in peak season. That's 1,400 to 1,600 eggs annually. At $6 per dozen for pasture-raised eggs, you're looking at $700 to $800 in annual value just from eggs. Meat production is the hidden value. When hens drop below about 60% production around 18 months, you process them. 6 birds yield 30 to 42 pounds of meat. At $5 per pound for organic chicken, that's $150 to $210 additional value. You're not running a meat operation. You're utilizing birds that already paid for themselves. Processing is the mental hurdle, but chicken processing is learnable. Most people who can't handle it the first time can by the third. You're not required to do this, but if you want true self-sufficiency, it's part of the equation. Respectful, quick, humane, and the emotional return matters too. Chickens are present without being needy. They respond to routine. For people under stress, they add life to a property without the commitment of bigger livestock. Setup costs, $600 to $900 for a predator-proof coop, run, and 6 started pullets. Feed, about $40 monthly. Annual return, $850 to $1,000 minimum. Break even in year 1, profit after. That's why they're number 1. Animal number 2, rabbits. Meat production, rabbits. This one matters because rabbits are the most space-efficient meat animal on the planet, and most people don't even consider them. You can produce a huge amount of clean, healthy meat per year in a tiny space, without noise, without smell, if managed correctly, and without needing pasture. The reason rabbits work is simple: quiet, low footprint, efficient feed conversion, minimal zoning drama, high meat yield per square foot. To start, all you need is 3-wire hutches, $1 does. If you have a shed corner, covered patio, or a protected area in a garage with good airflow, you're ready. What you're doing is straightforward. Breed on a schedule. Start small. Feed pellets plus hay, plus safe forage. Process fryers at 10 to 12 weeks. Keep water clean daily. To keep it going, focus on one thing: fresh water every day. Rabbits are fragile without hydration, but nearly indestructible with it. Over time, This doesn't just fill your freezer. It gives you food security that feels tangible. You control the quality. You control the schedule. You don't need a big pasture. You don't need loud animals. And you can produce real meat while your neighbors are paying premium prices. Compost, the secret feature. Put a compost bin under the hutches. Rabbit manure is garden gold. It's cold compost, safe to use without waiting a year. You're building soil fertility while producing meat. Breed selection? Don't get tricked. Breed choice matters. New Zealand whites and Californians are standards because they grow fast, dress out heavy, and handle temperature swings. Flemish giants sound impressive but take forever and eat more feed. Stick with proven production breeds unless you're raising rabbits as pets. Housing. Simple but non-negotiable. Wire-bottom cages let waste fall through. Cleanliness becomes automatic. Each rabbit needs at least 4 square feet. Does need nesting boxes about 10 days before kindling. Bucks stay separated. It's not complicated, but it's not optional. Feeding. Steady beats, fancy quality pellets provide balanced nutrition. Add grass hay for digestion. Supplement with garden greens and safe weeds. Avoid sudden diet changes. Rabbit digestive systems are sensitive. Breeding. Calm, scheduled, predictable. Breeding takes patience, not talent. Bring the doe to the buck's cage. Watch for the fall off. That's your confirmation. Gestation is about 28 to 31 days. Litters average 6 to 8 kits. Keep records. Keep it boring. Boring is good. Processing. Simpler than poultry. Processing is often easier than chicken. No plucking, quick clean work, efficient handling. The key is speed and respect. The numbers. Setup costs $400 to $600 for hutches and breeding stock. Feed $25 to $35 monthly. Varies. A trio can produce dozens of fryers annually. This is why rabbits stay at number 2. They're the highest meat return for the least space, and they don't create neighbor problems. Animal number 3, quail, eggs, plus supplemental meat. Quail, Coturnix quail specifically. This one matters because quail solve a problem most people don't realize they have until zoning shuts them down. You want eggs and meat, but your city bans chickens. Quail are quiet, compact, and productive, fast. The reason quail work on half an acre, or no acres, is simple. 12 quail can fit in 4 square feet. They start laying at 6 weeks. They're quiet enough that neighbors often don't even notice. To start, all you need is a stacked wire cage system, 24 Coturnix quail, game bird feed, a clean water setup. If you have a basement corner, garage space, or even a large closet with ventilation, you're ready. What you're doing is collecting eggs daily, keeping water clean, keeping the area dry, harvesting extra males at 7 to 8 weeks if you want meat. To keep it going, focus on one thing: keep their area dry. Moisture causes most quail problems. Dryness prevents most of them. Over time, quail prove something important. Self-sufficiency isn't about land. It's about strategy. Quail work for renters, people testing homesteading, and anyone who needs stealth production. The only type that makes sense. Coturnix are the production bird. Bobwhites are for hunting. Buttons are ornamental. Coturnix lay nearly daily, mature fast, and handle captivity well. Housing basics, wire cages with 1/4 inch floors work best. Solid floors get gross fast. Each bird needs about 1 square foot. They don't roost. Floor space matters more than height. Light quail need 14 to 16 hours of light to lay consistently. A simple timer and LED bulb solves winter production. No light, no eggs, Feed. They need higher protein feed, 24 to 28%. Chicken feed is too low. Add crushed oyster shell for calcium. The numbers quail eggs are small but constant. 5 quail eggs roughly equal 1 chicken egg. They're richer and great for baking. Even at a small scale, the output is impressive and the footprint is tiny. That's why quail sits in the top 3. It's the I can't homestead killer. Animal number 4. Bees. Honey plus pollination. Bees. Honeybees in Langstroth hives. This one matters because bees solve 2 problems at once: pollination and sweetener production without taking usable ground space. One hive occupies a tiny footprint, and the bees forage far beyond your property. The reason bees work on small properties is simple. They forage miles away. Your half-acre doesn't limit them. One hive can produce a meaningful honey harvest. They increase garden yields significantly. They require checks every couple weeks, not daily chores. To start, you need 1 Langstroth hive, a nuke or package of bees, a smoker, protective gear, a sunny placement with thoughtful positioning. What you're doing: checking the hive every 2 weeks in warm months, monitoring health and brood patterns, watching for mite pressure late summer/fall, harvesting honey once or twice a year. To keep it going, focus on one thing: varroa, mite monitoring and treatment. Mites are the main reason colonies fail. Managing mites is the difference between bees are amazing and my hive died. Over time, bees change how you see your land. You notice bloom cycles. You watch your garden set fruit better. You start thinking in seasons. And it's humbling because your tiny box contains tens of thousands of workers doing real work. Don't start with romantic hive styles. Langstroth hives are standard because parts are interchangeable and resources are everywhere. Start with what works. Get fancy later if you still want to. Nukes versus packages. Packages are cheaper but harder for beginners. Nukes cost more but come with a functioning mini colony and usually reduce first-year failures. The numbers: startup, $400 to $600 for hive and bees. Honey, 30 to 60 pounds in many situations. Varies a lot by region and year. At local raw honey prices, that can be meaningful value, plus the garden boost. Bees aren't easy, but they are efficient. That's why they're number 4. Animal number 5. Ducks. Pest control plus eggs. Ducks. Khaki Campbells or Indian runners specifically. This one matters because ducks solve problems chickens create. They don't scratch up gardens. They demolish slugs, mosquito larvae, and ticks. And they lay bigger, richer eggs that bakers pay premium prices for. The reason ducks work on small spaces is simple: less destructive than chickens, strong foragers, great pest control, cold hardy, simple housing. To start, a 3-sided shelter, a kiddie pool, 4 to 6 ducks, feed formulated for ducks, niacin matters, your daily routine, feed and water, dump/refill, the pool every couple days, collect eggs to keep it going, focus on one thing: clean water, access. Ducks need water to clean their bills, eyes, and nostrils. Without it, they get stressed and sick. With it, they thrive. Over time, ducks don't just give eggs. They make your land feel alive. They're funny. They're calming. They turn pest pressure into protein. Breed selection, Khaki Campbells. High egg output. Indian runners, incredible foraging. Welsh Harlequins, a great balanced pick. Ducks are messy, but manageable. They're waterfowl. They splash. Use gravel or sand around water zones for drainage. Deep bedding in shelters, composts in place. It's not worse than chickens, just different. Predators. Ducks are more vulnerable because they don't fly up to safety. Night security matters, covered runs, secure shelters, and good fencing solve most of it. The numbers, 6 ducks, can produce a large number of eggs annually, and duck eggs often sell at a premium. Add pest control value and reduced garden damage, and ducks become a seriously useful animal on half an acre. Quick check-in on his engagement. If this is making sense so far, give it a like. It helps this reach people trying to figure out what actually works on limited land without the Instagram fantasy version. And I'm curious, which animal are you leaning towards starting with? Or if you already raise one of these, what's one thing you wish someone had told you before you started? Drop it in the comments. I actually read them, and your real-world experience helps shape what I cover next. Real information from people doing this beats theory every single time. Let me know what's working for you. Bonus tip. Start with 1, not 5 bonus tip. Here's something most people miss, and it matters more than choosing the perfect animal. Instead of starting with 3 species at once because you're excited, pick 1 and get it completely dialed in first. That single decision prevents overwhelm, builds actual skill, and gives you confidence, which makes adding the next animal feel easy instead of terrifying. Most failed homesteads don't fail because they chose the wrong animals. They fail because they did too much too fast and burned out in year 1. Here's why this works. Every animal has a learning curve. Feed schedules, behavior quirks, health red flags, predator pressure, seasonal shifts, winter problems, surprise expenses. You cannot learn 5 systems simultaneously while working full-time, raising kids, and managing normal life. You'll do all of them poorly and hate the process. Pick 1. Chickens, rabbits, quail, bees, or ducks. Spend 6 to 12 months mastering that single species. Learn their rhythm. Dial in your routine. Make mistakes when the stakes are low and you're only managing one thing. Then add the next animal from a place of competence, not chaos. This approach also reveals what you actually enjoy. You might love chickens but hate processing rabbits. You might find bees meditative but ducks annoying. Small tests prevent large regrets and wasted money. Another hidden benefit is infrastructure reuse. Your chicken coop design informs your duck shelter. Rabbit hutch lessons improve quail cage builds. Skills and materials compound. You're not starting from 0 each time. Financial pressure drops too. One species cash flowing before you add another means animals fund expansion, not credit cards. This is how successful small homesteads grow, deliberately, sustainably. The people rushing to fill half an acre with every animal at once burn out in 12 months and quit. The people who start with 6 chickens and expand strategically are still thriving a decade later with less land than the people who failed. Speed feels productive. Patience is what actually works. You don't need a farm to be self-sufficient. You just need one smart choice and the discipline to let it work before chasing the next shiny thing. Pick one animal from this video and start small this season, imperfectly, with whatever setup you can afford right now. That's how real food security builds, not from doing everything, from doing one thing well, then adding the next. And if you want more practical, no BS homesteading strategies like this, subscribe to this channel. This is for people who want to grow food and build resilience without the Instagram aesthetic, the burnout, or needing perfect land. I post videos like this every week covering self-sufficiency, small space food production, and systems that actually work in real life with real constraints. Subscribing means you won't have to piece together advice from a dozen random sources anymore. It'll just show up. If this video helped you think more clearly about what actually fits your space and life right now, share it with someone trying to figure out the same thing. Real information spreads when people who understand it pass it on. Thanks for spending this time here. I appreciate you being part of this community. Now go start small and start smart. I'll see you in the next one.